One small, tiny, itsy-bitsy incident with Ra and one of Yanji's friends, but it was nothing.
Okay, but the deed is done now. They both done came public with their lovers. I'm not mad at it, and for Carissa to bring Papoose out when she was walking out for her fight, have him rap, have him perform. Like, she put on for him, he put on for her. I like that, and you could literally tell, like, when they're together, you can tell that she genuinely likes this man, and that he genuinely...
When Papoose announced complete custody of their kid, everyone thought the Remy Ma and Papoose saga was finally finished. This was yet another amazing development, possibly the most absurd yet. To put it plainly, the situation in the courts and on the streets is becoming worse. Everyone forgot these two had ever been together because they looked invincible on red carpets and in rap fights. But underneath all the smiles, fractures were beginning to show. Remy has leveled serious charges about Papoose's lunacy and their covert connection. She said that when disagreements became heated, he overreacted. But more than that, rumors are spreading like wildfire. In addition to adultery, Remy is charged with introducing their kid to the guy she met. If this is real, it's bold. According to rumors, she disappeared after Papoose informed everyone, leaving the kid to be raised by Papoose alone. Nowadays, everyone is curious as to whether Papoose is really battling for sole custody in the divorce and whether this is a man's battle. Child, is there more to the story? Anyway, this split is turning into a court war rather than a low-key divorce. Remember that in spite of all the hardships, Remy and Papoose stayed together for almost 10 years. They endured the industry's turmoil together to keep it closed for 8 years. Papoose, who was out there wearing the crown as the king of loyalty, proved that real love still exists in hip-hop. However, it seems that the dream has been shattered, and everyone is seeing it all unravel, headline after headline.
So he came up every day? Every visit?
For the first year, he came literally every single day. When you're in a match, you have a visit every day.
Everyone believed that Remy Ma and Papoose's love was as strong as a stone wall, but in recent years, it has fallen apart totally. Nobody expected him to act in this manner. How did we get here? How did two people who used to look ride or die start berating each other online like strangers and pointing fingers? Is the primary inquiry. Now, where is the love? Let's take a closer look at the duo who gave us optimism earlier. We're talking about adultery claims, rumors, explosive altercations, and furious disputes behind closed doors under pressure. Think on every aspect, from the first passionate moments to the shocking upheaval that has caused everyone to see their relationship badly. We must first discuss Remy Ma's identity as a force to be reckoned with, not only as a woman, before discussing love and sadness. On May 30, 1980, Remy Smith was born in the Bronx. She had a difficult upbringing and saw firsthand the terrible toll addiction had on her family. She was not just a big sister, but also a mother figure, taking care of her younger siblings when no one else could. Her time to mature had come. Big Pun's mentoring and recognition of her skills changed her life. She was co-signed by Major. When Fat Joe elevated her and enlisted her in his terror squad after Big Pun's passing, she carried on. In fact, Remy wasn't just trying to win. She was the perfect example of how a feisty Bronx native turned adversity into strength to win a game that wasn't hers. Before she had bars, no one realized that Remy was shaped strangely.
Really, really hard. But I'm happy to, love somebody who wanna, love somebody back. You know what I'm saying? He is just such a sweetheart. Ain't nobody tell him to tie my goddamn boat either, but he said it wasn't laced right, so he laced it right. It was so funny.
Yeah, that's why I said I love him. I love having his support, you know what I'm saying? His support is like very, very different from what I've had in the past, and how he speaks to me and stuff is very different. There you go. We deserve each other. But I don't know, it's not one of those things I was like, I want to keep.
When Remy Ma made her breakthrough on the #1 smash song, Leanin' in 2004, she demonstrated as a young artist that she was more than just a rapper. With her flowing flow and razor-sharp delivery, Woman proved that women could compete with the biggest names in a field that was previously dominated by men. Her presence and confidence made it difficult to ignore her. With the publication of her first album in 2006, which was inspired by a real-life incident, she demonstrated that she was more than simply a fight rapper. She had heart and guts and was a true storyteller. and lyrical talent, but everything changed in 2007, just before Remy was about to revolutionize the music industry. After a heated argument about missing funds, which were allegedly close to $3,000, things quickly went south. Remy shot Makita Barnes-Joseph because he believed she had stolen from him. She was sentenced to 8 years in prison by the court, with immediate consequences. When her successful career abruptly ended, many people thought she was done with love and music. Papoose, a man born on March 5, 1977, whose real name was Shale Mackey, was the one who refused to go. Due to his honest poetry, witty repartee, and profoundly felt, socially concerned lyrics, Pap was already well known in the underground culture outside of Brooklyn. He was respected in the streets for being genuine and not trying to gain power, even if he never quite attained public fame. Even while his mixtapes helped make him famous, Pap's unwavering devotion to Remy, they met in the early 2000s and clicked right away, was mostly what kept him in the public eye.
Miss Remy Ma, Mr. Papoose, really the hip-hop's Hollywood couple right now. Y'all need your own show. That's right.
The relationship between Remy Ma and Papoose was much more than simply words and rhythms, even if their beginning story was hip-hop. In addition to her intelligence, Remy's strength, determination, and independence shocked him. In 2008, when Remy was sentenced to jail, Papoose took a chance and proposed. The wedding was abruptly canceled and garnered worldwide attention when Pap reportedly tried to smuggle in a skeleton key, an actual key that jail authorities said would have been used for escape. Despite that absurd setback, Papoose remained inside, often visited Remy, assisted her, and rode for her, something that very few men do in any sector, particularly when reality sets in and enthusiasm and dedication swiftly diminish. While the other cast members were out here going through horrible breakups, public turmoil, and scandal after controversy, Remy and Pap seemed to be the only pair who were really dedicated to one another. After welcoming Papoose home, people fell in love with his dedication and lauded their connection as a unique on-screen representation of genuine Black love. This is because, in 2014, once Remy was finally released from Pap's restraint, you know who was at the gate. In 2018, Mackenzie, affectionately referred to as the Golden Child, seemed to be fulfilling their goal, but by 2023, issues were beginning to show through the joyful photos and encouraging words. When battle rapper Geechee Gotti was on the stage and personally chastised Eazy for allegedly being linked to Remy during a live fight, the audience exploded and the rumors started to circulate. Remy and the battle rapper Eazy were accused of cheating on Papa. The fans of the block captain saw that the pair was not as often as they used to be, and something seemed off.
Just stop screwing the business. Found out you was help, that could really ruin your image. We're talking, we're rocking with Sham, Pap and Rhea. That's us. Y'all the poster child symbol for Black blood. This marriage is still had to go to them stages. Every interview, he showed his admiration and tell the world how he think his woman the greatest. Held you down in prison for 6 years.
Remy was watching when combat rapper Jay Gotti made the rumors public. She laughed it off uncomfortably, but the internet couldn't stop talking about it. The damage was done shortly after chaos broke out behind the scenes. Ease denied everything, immediately took it down, and seemed to be beginning to feel the strain. Blogs claim that during the supposed relationship, Papoose touched the block captain behind the scenes. It was evident that he was beginning to feel the heat, even if his comment, "I'm not mad about rumors, I'm not mad about false stories because, being the person that I am, I understand," belied his seeming indifference. He went on to accuse detractors on both sides of disseminating misleading information on social media, saying that fans were acting too strangely and that they wanted terrible things to happen to me. This is clearly tantamount to hating the men and women he posted. It was followed by another tweet that struck a different chord. His remark was what really got people talking. "Seeing people happy about the possibility that something happened to me that's unacceptable," said the lawmaker. "Things became serious just now, but I finally understood." Pete Chaos publicly chastised him for supposedly fooling around with Papoose when fans expressed shock that he would be accused of doing such. Real men do real things, right, Pap? Come clear this up before I do. Despite my best efforts, we were unable to provide each opponent with 3 complete rounds tonight. When he responded that it was difficult to blame him if P did pop him, people naturally began asking him to clean up the mess. They said, "Can you guys please stop with the Ease and Pap lies?" There's no place like Chrome, right back at it. See you all in August. Remy couldn't handle the attitude. By 2024, the romantic ideal of Remy and Pap's relationship had been utterly destroyed, and they weren't even making an effort to conceal their growing distance from one another. Another twist. In a surprising turn of events, Remy accused Papoose of cheating on her by seeing world boxing champion Claressa Shields. Despite your best efforts, you were unable to make this stuff up.
Talking to Claressa Shields and fell asleep on the phone.
Yeah, so Remy exposed
how
that
we got here
and
was
to
her taking this conversation and putting it online. So
so pretty much that's where we got.
But what is the receipts? Is the receipts that at the same time she's allegedly with Easy that he was with Claressa and lying about?
After then, there were leaks. Remy displayed what seemed to be text exchanges between Papoose and Claressa Shields, suggesting that Pap was not the submissive monarch he had always pretended to be. Retaliating, Remy said, "Pat, post, you dummy. Hey, Miss Shields, he took your advice, but not before I screenshotted y'all's convo." Yikes. Remy accused him of living a second life and intimidating her behind the scenes. After the same woman who had cheated on him for 17 years attempted to have me arrested, his side chick is attempting to get me out of prison. Then, after the obvious betrayal, she went on. She further said that Pap was threatening to release private images and recordings and was plotting her harm. Remy produced receipts for the transactions and said she received messages and photos of Pap with other women while on vacation. "I've reprimanded you for your foolish predicament." She replied, "He wrote my poem a long time ago." Since he threatened to reveal it as well, he now wants to claim that if anybody knows anything private about me, it's him. Remy was now steadfast in her refusal to acknowledge that she had ever cheated on him. "Hello, Miss Shields, of course." She said, "I'm a good woman too, and I'm a one-boyfriend woman, just like I was a one-husband one. My dad is making fun of your attitude, so he will never buy you anything, and Pap is not going to go. He believes he has won and is more of a taker than a giver. Don't bother me any longer, please." Papoose got his chance to reply, but he didn't hold back when your boyfriend pushed you to say, "You feel stupid? Well, baby, you look stupid too. I'm not angry. I'm just happy. You do not want me to be your rival." When Remy Ma posted this, he was incensed. In a since-deleted post, he claimed that Remy had been unfaithful throughout the years he had been trying to get a divorce. He wasn't holding back when he called her a narcissist and said she was trying to tell the world how wonderful their marriage was.
All these years that Remy Ma and Papoose finally done called it quits. That man got sent home. Like, ma'am, I sat here all this time and waited on you as a man. Because you know that's what women do. That's what women would wait on you as a man. After you got sentenced, matter of fact, before you even got sentenced, men were wrong. And they be having about 5, 6, 7, 10 women lined up quick. But this man waited on you while you was lined up. They wouldn't let you out. And I'm talking about he got him a little thunder. Sis is young, pretty. She got her own thing going on, so it ain't like it's one of these little fans or nothing, baby. You up against something. Yeah. And you hurt. Now, you probably was the one in the relationship that was the abusive one. You probably was mental abuse. That man probably was real chill mode. You probably did him real dirty behind closed doors. And he stuck in the paint and stayed with you while you did him dirty. But now it's over with, baby. Karma is something else.
Papoose felt angry as he hit his breaking point. He went on to add that he had been asking for a divorce for years, but Remy seemed more concerned with growing his online following than with dealing with things like grown-ups. His comment generated a lot of online discussion. It's sad to say that Remy is a narcissist. She chose to cheat not once, but repeatedly. Now that I've moved on, she's trying to flip the script. She doesn't need all of this stress. She should go to school and enjoy her life. I kept quiet for our 6-year-old daughter because Pap had always shown himself as the protective father, but he wasn't finished, he said. Remy said that Pap tried to contact the police or lock her up, both of which Pap denied. Stop acting like he didn't write it. You concocted tales to persuade the police about. Remy responded with similarly serious charges just when everyone thought the situation couldn't get any more dramatic. Papoose questioned her about allegedly fabricating messages from more than 10 years ago in order to defend herself after she claimed he had touched her during a confrontation in their garage. The pool remodeling workers had to call the cops to break things up since everything had gotten out of control. The pool was never completed when the workers had to call the cops to stop you from assaulting me in the garage. Remember that? Remy also shouted at Pap. The audio and video will still be lying by then, and that's before I've even spoken. After pondering the subject for some time, Papoose finally broke the silence and acknowledged that Remy had wandered easily. Even though their 6-year-old daughter was left behind and spent Christmas snuggling up, fans of the twist and the block captain were shocked to hear that Pap said Remy had prioritized an affair above their child. He and Iez were great friends, so the betrayal hurt a lot.
You know what really gets on my nerves, that grinds my gears, grind me so bad, is that when y'all think I give a listen to me. I do not give a about so much. It made me kill me when y'all think that because I respond, I give a I don't give a I be bored responding, needing something to do. I done worked out 2 hours straight. The rest of my day is free. I'm on an all fruit damn detox. I don't give a I'm bored. Don't ever think that because I responded to you that I care, because I don't give a fuck about you, about her, about him. I'm nothing. That's the truth.
Then, in an angry message, Pap revealed the stunning information without holding anything back. The rumors that had been brewing for months were confirmed by him. Last Christmas, while I was at home with my kid, Papoose said, Remy is a narcissist and is bitter and trying to spin lies now that he's finally moved on. He said that Remy had rejected his offer to terminate things quietly and amicably like adults. She won't get a divorce like adults just because I wouldn't lie and pretend I didn't knock this chump out, he said, intensifying the argument. I knock him unconscious when he shakes my hand and then turns around to make that cunning maneuver. Remy, determined not to be quiet either, clapped back at me. I didn't even knock him out because, in case you didn't know, he had an affair with my wife. Pap said, but so what? When she pleaded with me to fabricate a lie. He claimed that the last time I saw him, he was curled up in the fetal position and wasn't even punching. Remy added to the drama by accusing Pap of having a serious gambling problem, writing, let's talk about that, but she wasn't done dragging. I've been telling you to leave and let's divorce quietly. But you said the only way you'd leave is with a big public blow-up, so here it is. Remy had been requesting a divorce for years, but Pap continued to put off the paperwork. Yeah, I'm looking just fine in the background, regardless of who I'm with. But trust me, I was with my baby on every important day. Pap stated that Remy wasn't the kind to post details of his company online and that he used his loyalty and morals from his early years as a weapon to portray him as the antagonist. To be honest, Papoose and Remy Ma's days are over. They were the ideal marriage for many years, and everyone thought they could survive anything, prison time, industry upheaval, gossip blogs, anything until they weren't. Remy and Pap were supposed to be different, but limelight celebrities don't play fair. It will skew even the purest love until it's just rumors and receipts. That's what hurts the most about them. Even the strongest relationships have had ego disputes, adultery rumors, and infidelity. We've seen it happen with Jay-Z and Beyonce, Cardi, and others. We imagined the photo was in parts since Pap was the model, the devoted one who stayed down for years, and the ride-or-die one who never folded. Pat is acting like the perfect spouse, even though he could revert back to the studio. Remy will always be held responsible for this occurrence, regardless of your opinion. You'll notice another twist just when you think it can't get much worse. Do you recall how Papa Remy left his child alone on Christmas so she could spend time with her new partner? Pap is allegedly telling people that she doesn't see her child very frequently and that he has been out there saying that Remy is more focused on her new boyfriend than fatherhood, even though Mill is already seemingly hinting that he could be cheating on her. Here's where it gets crazy. Pap is reportedly altering his divorce document to request sole custody. Yes, he wants full parental rights. We must ask, do you think Paps is telling the truth about Remy's bad parenting, or is he just using these tactics to win over the public's sympathies and mock her as he departs? To ensure you don't miss the chaos, please feel free to leave a comment below and remember to press the bell, like, and subscribe. He feels that the kid would be happier with him than with Remy. Therefore, this is a full-fledged family dispute rather than just a split.